This weekend marks the 45th anniversary of the Stardust tragedy where 48 young people died. Their deaths were ruled unlawful killing at the 2024 inquest. And this week, a payment of €20,000 announced for Stardust survivors by the Minister for Justice, Jim Callaghan.
However, survivors are not happy about the announcement, and to look at why, we're joined by Stardust survivors Jimmy Fitzpatrick and Antoinette Keegan. Thank you both so much for joining us on the show this morning. And what's a very difficult day. Every anniversary is so hard, but today, I suppose, 45 years, I suppose it's gone by in a heartbeat, but yes, a very long time to get answers and a decent response. Jimmy, looking back on that night, I suppose explain to our viewers what sort of impact it's had on you.
Well, it's had, it's life-changing forever, the impact that it's had on me. As you can see, I had third-degree burns. You know, I've also got, you know, emotional stress from it. So every day is different to you, but at the same time, I've got the reminders constantly, you know, of what happened that night. But it never goes away. It's in your mind all the time, you know. You're
still getting treatment for the injuries you suffered that night.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes on. And Antoinette, for you, this day, 45 years ago, you were making plans for heading out. There was a dance competition on. It was going to be midnight was Valentine's Day. So I'm sure when Friday the 13th comes around in February, you're right back there.
I actually hate today. I hate it. And like my father telling us that night, when we were getting ready to go out, please don't go, it's Friday the 13th, and me assuring both my parents, right, that we'd be okay, I look after Mary and Martina. And when I found out 2.5 weeks later that Mary and Martina had been killed, right, I felt guilty that I survived and they were killed. So it's been a guilt complex with me and a guilt feeling for 45 years. This day, 45 years ago, the whole lot was upstairs in the bedroom getting ready to go out. And I was actually lucky to be here today because I was pulled out of fire by one of the patrons, Thomas Lark, and he pulled me out of fire. I was holding on to Martina's hand with this hand here, and he grabbed me by this hand and tried to pull me out. And he couldn't get me, so he had to kick this hand here. And even when he was giving his testimony at the inquest, he didn't realise it was my sister's hand, that he had to release this hand for Martina. And he kind of said, well, maybe I should have went back in and saved her. But even him coming in to save me, he took his own life at risk because at that stage the fire was really, really bad.
You lost both your sisters. And you were there as well. I can't imagine the pain you've gone through since. And I suppose it's been completely taken over your life ever since then, and the life of your entire family, really.
Yeah.
How do you cope? How do you get through it day by day?
It is actually difficult because 45 years, right, of systematic abuse thrown at you by the Irish state, and it's 43 years. We got the apology on the 23rd of April of the Taoiseach, Simon Harris. And he explained in the apology, right, that doors have been shut on us. Well, doors are shut on us again with this insult, right, that the government is at the throne at us, right, because there was 3 principles altogether, right, that they were supposed to do. They were supposed to do, the agreement was made, right, that they would consult with the survivors and the legal teams, right, and they didn't do any consulting. We actually heard it from the media. Our legal team had heard nothing until I rang them, and then they got it through the media about this redress money. And it's the systematic abuse is there. So when you ask how do you feel, right, the government is responsible for everything. They interfered in our judicial rights initially with a tribunal of inquiry. And they have literally put this thing back now, this process or this recognition payment, as they call it, as back to the Barrington Tribunal. That was the Stardust Victims Compensation Tribunal. They've literally thrown us back to that position again, where they said that we wouldn't have to go through any of this. And they've totally ignored the last principle. The third principle was the exceptionality, right? this Stardust redress.
Yeah, because, look, we all celebrated in April 2024. Not just the people who survived and the families of those who were lost, but the country celebrated because we knew there was an injustice. Yeah. And it took 23 years for that verdict of unlawful killing.
43 years.
43 years of that verdict to come back. And then the apology in the Dáil.
Yeah.
Another step forward. Then the promise that you would be spoken to.
Yeah.
We're told the statement that was issued said, while the department cannot comment on individual cases, the intention is that the scheme will be as simple as possible and not place a significant burden of proof on survivors and be accessible without legal assistance. The recognition payment for survivors is not intended to constitute compensation. That's what you were saying for the injuries and trauma sustained by those who survived the fire. But instead, what is proposed is a payment which recognises the delays in providing truth and justice.
That's the statement from the Department of Justice.
We just got
that doesn't hold water for us because there was a clear assignment given to the Minister for Justice from Simon Harris, the then Taoiseach, right? And his assignment was to deal with the redress with phase one, and as soon as phase one was over, to deal with exceptional cases after that. That was the assignment. It's clear. There's no ambiguity in that. It's clear, you know. He has now just gone and, as Antoinette said, gone down the Barrington route of saying one size fits all. Let's just get this off the table.
Like, one size cannot fit all when it comes to the survivors of this horrendous tragedy. Like, you were in hospital the longest of anybody coming out of that. The injuries you sustained were absolutely horrific. We can see them there, the scars that you still bear both psychologically and physically. For people at home, give an idea of the actual physical recovery that you had to go through in the weeks and months and even years since then.
Well, the recovery that I had to go through was basically, let me first point out to you that the government never rehabilitated me. I had to rehabilitate myself. When I left hospital, I couldn't use my hands anymore.
So when you went into
back to being a child.
When you went into hospital, like what extent were your injuries?
3rd-degree burns on arms, shoulders, backs, you know. So, like, all the skin had to be stripped off my legs to be put onto my arms because the skin on my arms had to be removed. And that was it and they were afraid I'd get gangrene before they'd sent me over to get me grasp because my lungs were so bad. They were trying to keep that right. So it was a constant fight. Like, it was a fight from the very night up until today. And we thought that after this year or after last year that we wouldn't have to fight anymore. You know, the government made an apology for the family and for the victims, and he made what we felt at the time was a heartfelt apology. I actually feel now that the Minister has sullied that apology to the survivors by coming out and blanket bombing what he's done. It's an absolute disgrace to the survivors.
But the thing about it is the proper attention hasn't been paid to this with the Minister of Justice, Jim O'Callaghan, because back in 1985, when this Stardust Victims Compensation was set up, right, there was people that put claims in. A lot of people put claims in that weren't even in the Stardust that night.
Yeah,
and this was all explained to the Taoiseach. He was the Taoiseach at the time. I had a meeting with him and I explained the whole lot to him, and he said this won't be a repeat. But what they're after doing now is a repeat of Barrington.
Yeah, and the reason you're saying this, and you've brought up because we had that compensation culture where people were jumping on that ban, and horrendous that people would do that, is that the 823 that the Minister referred to, that's not an actual number.
No, they're not all survivors.
Yeah.
No. They're not all survivors. So this was a survivors redress scheme that you were setting up. What he's had to do, he's had to go back to Barrington.
And he literally has looked at a figure and
he's just turned it, like, it was what he decided he was going to do. There was no consultation with the survivors. Like, it was all agreed with the Taoiseach that with the whole thing would be consultation with the families of the deceased and also the survivors. And he has just turned his back on us, right, and literally threw that on the table without any consultation with our legal team, Dara Mackin from Phoenix Law. They knew nothing about it.
Jamie, I suppose communication has been key on this. Whatever about the money, put that to aside for a second.
Exactly.
It's, I suppose, do you feel a kind of a lack of respect from the government and the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach? What do you want to say to them?
Well, I'd ask the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach to get involved, to ask the Minister to go back to the drawing board, because he's gone outside the remit of the
the agreement.
assignment, and the assignment was to deal with the exceptional circumstances first. Okay, he hasn't done that. He has never. The replies that we have received from the Minister's office in October was that our proposals are in advance, but no proposals were ever received by our legal team. You know, so the advancement of proposals weren't even given to our legal team for them to view it and discuss it with us. So I'm sitting on a bus coming back from a GP visit the other day, and I get a call from Kitty Holland at the time to say, "Did you hear the announcement?" I shouldn't have to hear that from the media. I should have to hear that from my solicitor, you know. And they were supposed to get a meaningful dialogue with us, you know, and to not go down the Barrington route and, you know, just treat us all, you know, as equals. But like as I'm saying, and Seth and Antoinette saying, we're not saying that people don't deserve redress, right? What we're saying is stick to the assignment, deal with the exceptional cases first, talk to their solicitors, talk to the survivors themselves, get a plan in place. It's not too late to go back to the drawing board here. And like, he's a chance to turn this around. And we're asking the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach to get involved, explain that the government's memo to the Times clearly stated that phase 2 would be on exceptional circumstances once phase 1 was completed, you know. So, as I said, the apology from me, we were there in the Dáil on the day. The then Taoiseach, Simon Harris, came up, shook our hands, asked how we done. We felt a very heartfelt apology, which it was in its essence.
Means something now.
However, the survivors' apology part has now been sullied by the Minister, and he's just taken the words of the then Taoiseach and just obliterated them.
Yeah, I know. He said there shouldn't be a burden of proof because I don't want further trauma, but he is clearly causing.
Yeah, I actually texted the Taoiseach the day the news broke, because I heard from Conor Hunt of RT. He rang me. I texted the Taoiseach, Micheál Martin, and I WhatsApped Simon Harris to say that this has to be resolved with an urgent meeting with our solicitor, Sarah Mackin, and the Taoiseach, the Taoiseach, and the Minister of Justice. And I got no response.
Okay. Tomorrow there's a vigil that will mark the 45th anniversary. Where's that happening Wednesday?
It's actually happening on the Stardust site in Artane. It's Artane Place, opposite to Artane Castle on the Kilmore Road. So it's happening at 1 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be a very special one because we didn't have one last year because we're getting the memorial wall upgraded. So this year, right, we're going to have the blessing, because it'll be acknowledgement, right, if the 48 were unlawfully killed as the verdict on the 18th of April 2024.
Antoinette and Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning on what's a very, very difficult day.
Many thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for having us on the show.